Hey, welcome! Today, we're going to talk about a silent, invisible force in your financial life. One that can either help you cruise towards your goals or, well, leave you totally stranded. Let's jump right in.
So, let's start with this quote right here. In the world of investing, you get what you don't pay for. I know, it sounds completely backwards, right? How can that possibly be true? Well, stick with me, because figuring out this little puzzle is the absolute key to unlocking your financial future.
To really get this, let's meet Amma and Kofi. Just picture them in Accra, hopping into a trotro bright and early. They're starting a pretty long journey, and their destination is a secure, bright financial future. The engine's running, they're excited, they're ready to go.
But, as anyone who's ever taken a trotro knows, the journey is never just a perfect straight road. There are all these hidden obstacles, and we're going to call this the friction factor. Think of them like financial potholes and speed bumps, things that are basically designed to slow you down. And a lot of the time, you don't even see them coming.
Okay, so the first type of friction is something called the expense ratio. And this one is sneaky. The best way to think about it is like a tiny, slow leak in the trotro's fuel tank. It's this small annual fee that a fund charges just to manage your money. Drip, drip, drip. It seems like nothing, right? But that fuel, that's your future.
And then there's the second one, called churn. Okay, for this one, just imagine your trotro driver suddenly deciding to take a bunch of random, pointless detours all over the city. That's churn. It's the cost that comes from an investment manager buying and selling way too often. Every single one of those detours burns extra fuel and wastes precious time, costing you real money.
So right about now, you might be thinking, come on, a tiny leak, a couple of detours, how bad can it really be? And that, right there, that's the trap. It's what we call the small number fallacy, this mistaken idea that tiny little percentages don't really have a big impact. But believe me, they do. Tiny leaks can, and absolutely do, sink very big ships. So let me ask you this directly. You see a 1% or a 2% fee, and your brain just kind of goes, that's basically nothing. But over the entire 30-year journey that Amma and Kofi are on, what is the real cost of that nothing fee? Let me tell you, the answer is pretty shocking.
Let's just look at the proof. This chart shows it all. It's Amma and Kofi's investment after 30 years. That tall bar, that's their growth with just a 1% annual fee. And the bar right next to it, that's what happens with a 2% fee. I mean, just look at that difference. It's not just a little bit smaller, it's a massive gap. That tiny extra 1% has cost them a huge chunk of their final destination.
So here's the bottom line. Over their whole journey, a simple 1% fee, that's just one SETI out of every 100, can end up eating 30% of their total potential wealth. 30%. Just gone. It vanishes into thin air, all because of a fee that looked way too small to even worry about.
Okay, that was the bad news. I get it. The potholes are deep. But the good news? The really good news is that there's a way to avoid most of them. There's a special express lane on this financial highway. It's kind of like a legal cheat code that lets you bypass all that friction and just cruise ahead. So what is this cheat code? It's simple, really. Almost every single country has created special accounts, or buckets, that are specifically designed to protect your money while it grows. The entire point of these things is to shelter your investment from the tough weather of taxes and high fees. And this isn't just an idea from somewhere else, it's a global thing. In the US, they've got things called 401ks. Over in the UK, they're called ISAs. In Canada, RRSPs. And right here in Ghana, we have our own versions, like formal pension schemes and certain unit trusts. Yeah, the names are all different, but the mission is exactly the same. Give your money a much smoother ride. Your job is just to find the one that's made for you. So we've uncovered the hidden potholes, and now we have a map to the express lane. The only thing left to do is put you and Amma and Kofi in the driver's seat. It's time to actually take control of the wheel and steer your own journey. And here it is, your simple action plan to get started, like today. Number 1, before you put money into anything, ask what are the fees? Get the exact number. Number 2, minimize churn. Play the long game. Don't keep making all these detours. And number 3, find your country's special tax-free bucket and start using it. Seriously, it's that straightforward. So as you take control, as you build that bright future for yourself, here's one last really powerful question to think about. Once you've paved your own express lane to financial security, how do we make sure that it's building a world that we actually want to live in? Now that is the real destination.